Hello and welcome to the first video on the road to Venus Next. The next couple of days I will release a few videos talking about everything you need to know about Venus Next so that you're well prepared for the launch of the next Terraforming Mars expansion on Steam. In this first episode I will give you a brief overview of MSI, probably my favorite new corporation. All the corporation tutorials will be quite short since there's not too much to talk about with these, but let's get started. MSI comes with the brand new Venus tag, grants 50 MC worth of starting capital, and as your first action allows you to draw 3 cards with the Venus tag. The ongoing effect that this corp grants is that when playing cards with Venus requirements, you can adjust the requirement by +2 or -2 steps. When should you pick this corp? I like MSI when I have a few Venus tags on hand already. Especially either those with high requirements like stratospheric birds, Maxwell base or Venusian animals, or those that combo with other Venus cards like Venus Governor, Venus Way Station or Sulfur exports. So MSI is really the Venus version of Inventrix. However, keep in mind that Inventrix can literally do the same, meaning that their ability allows them to adjust the Venus requirement as well. This means that Inventrix has a strictly better ability, because in addition to just having more flexible Venus requirements, it also has more flexible ocean, temperature and oxygen requirements. What differentiates MSI from Inventrix is the higher starting capital, Venus instead of science tag, and the fact that this corp draws 3 Venus tags specifically. And you really have to leverage that. Drawing 3 Venus tags specifically can be quite useful together with the Venus tag on your corp and your ability, especially if you have the right starting hand for it. For example, if you have IO Sulfur Research, Venus Way Station, Venus Governor, Maxwell base or Sulfur exports on hand, this can be a reason to pick MSI. There are other cards with combo potential as well, of course. In general, MSI works best if you have 1 or 2 good Venus cards on hand already, because then you can possibly get a really good combo together with the additional Venus tags that you draw as your first action, and fund Venophile early on as well. Talking about milestones and awards, other than Venophile, there's just Planner that you have a significant advantage on. Theoretically, you also have a slight boost on Tactician, but there are comparatively few Venus requirement cards in the deck, so that boost is marginal. But let's talk about the cards with a Venus requirement next, because those are the other reason to play this corp. If you start with stratospheric birds or Venusian animals on hand, MSI can be a good pick since the former is then absolutely trivial to get down early, while the latter is still a challenge to get down but significantly easier and can then score you a ton of points. If you can combo any of these with Maxwell base, which you could also draw from your opening action, you can absolutely destroy your opponent just with passive points. One tip for playing with Venusian animals: this card is 10 times stronger if you have a lot of continuous card draw, but that's something you should get anyways in a science strat. And as my last tip, don't forget that same as with Inventrix, your ability stacks together with Adaption tag and Special Design. So there's one way to break the game with Venusian animals. But that's everything you need to know about MSI for the upcoming Venus Next release on Steam. How do you like this corp? Do you have more tips and tricks to share with the community? Then please put them in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. See you in the next video.